Hello and a very warm welcome to Science Monitor, your weekly update on what's happening in the field of science, technology, research and innovation in and around the country. I'm Aishwarya Kapoor with you. From an app to alert the farmers about the impending lightning strikes to COVID protection system for contactless procedures at workplaces, we have lots in store for you. So let us begin with the headlines. WHO appreciates India's continued measures against COVID-19. India should now consider local epidemiology to guide its response to move forward. Damini, developed by IITM Pune, becomes more relevant in the months of monsoon. Mobile-based app gives advance information about impending lightning strikes. COVID protection system for workplaces unveiled by CSIR. Innovation will help in pursuing contactless procedures at workplaces. And aqueous extracts of tea and HARITAKI found to inhibit the enzyme activity in SARS-CoV-2. IIT Delhi pursuing the study to develop non-toxic and cost-effective medication for COVID-19. And now the news in details. The number of COVID-19 patients in the country has crossed the figure of 12 lakh. Considering the population of more than 130 crores, this number is not very big. But it certainly raises our worries due to the infection rate of the virus. We talked to WHO's Regional Director for Southeast Asia to know about the current situation of COVID-19 in India and what else India needs to do to win the war against the pandemic. Here is a report.
At the beginning of the COVID-19 outbreak, India took a number of measures, including some tough ones, to prevent the infection in the country. Although the number of cases is still increasing, yet the situation in India is better than the most of the other nations in the world. In India, COVID-19 deaths per million are among the lowest in the world, and the recovery rate is becoming better day by day. WHO has also appreciated India's continued response measures to tackle the pandemic.
India took bold, decisive and early measures earlier in the outbreak. The country did not witness an exponential increase in cases like some other countries which reported their first few cases along with India. However, now we are witnessing an increase in cases in the country, which should also be seen in the context of the pandemic still accelerating globally. Like in any other country, the transmission of COVID-19 is not homogeneous in India. There are areas yet to see a confirmed case. Some have sporadic cases, some small clusters, while we are witnessing large clusters in megacities from the densely populated areas. In some of these megacities, the number of fresh cases is now declining.
It is very difficult to prevent the infection in a large and densely populated country like India. Yet, India has been working continuously to strengthen its response to the crisis. India has been developing indigenous testing kits and readying more hospitals to boost its fight against corona.
In the last 6 months, India has been continually strengthening preparedness and response measures, which includes ramping up testing capacities, readying more hospitals, training health workers, arranging and stocking up medicines and essentials. However, we are aware of the varying capacities at the subnational levels. Also, it's not unusual in a country as big as India and its population size that the measures taken may often not be uniformly sufficient across all areas. Scaling up capacities and response remains a constant need and challenge in India.
According to WHO, to slow down the transmission of virus, India should also pay attention to the local epidemiology of the virus, while continuing with the implementation of other essential measures to tackle the infection.
All countries, including India, must continue to implement core public health and social distancing measures. Moving forward, local epidemiology should guide our response for finding hotspots and testing, detecting, isolating, and providing care to the affected. The last 6 months have also been a learning process for us. By now, we know what works better and where. We must invest in what works. We will need to continue to remain vigilant and take precautions and continue to empower communities to take appropriate measures.
The burden of any epidemic directly affects health services, but COVID-19 has also impacted the social and economic structure of the society to a great extent. Therefore, it becomes the duty of every citizen to contribute in the containment of the virus by following the guidelines laid down by the government, so that the nation can emerge from this crisis as soon as possible.
During the monsoon time in India, thousands of people lose their lives and property due to the lightning strikes. Though the natural event cannot be prevented, yet one can get alerts about its occurrence in advance with the help of a mobile application called Damini. The app gives exact location of the current lightning strikes, probable locations of impending lightning, and movement and direction of thunderstorms. To see how this app works, let us have a look at the report.
Lightning is a natural phenomenon that poses a great risk to farmers as they work in the open fields even during the monsoon. Every year, thousands of people fall victim to this extreme weather event that can have disastrous effects in the blink of an eye. To minimize the impact of such weather events, a mobile-based application called Damini was developed by the Indian Institute of Tropical Meteorology, Pune, under the Ministry of Earth Sciences. The app warns about impending lightning strikes about 30 to 40 minutes before the event, thereby giving ample time to seek shelter in a safe place.
We have a serious problem, a serious task, challenges in monitoring, detecting, and also predicting the thunderstorms. And but we have been doing a lot of work. And first is the monitoring, how we can monitor on real-time thunderstorms and inform people. We have different ways of doing it. One is we have set up a network in the country. It's called Lightning Network. It's installed by our institute called Indian Institute of Tropical Meteorology. And they've also developed a mobile app called Damini. And at a given time, wherever you are, if you have the Damini mobile app, it will give you a message saying that thunderstorm is likely to happen over this area. Lightning is happening over the area around you for next few hours.
Lightning is a complex natural phenomenon that cannot be prevented. Basically, it is a flow of electric charge which begins when large clouds containing ice crystals and water droplets rub against each other and generate static electricity. When this charge builds up and does not get any conductor in the atmosphere, then it propagates towards the nearest opposite charge present on the Earth. So, any conducive body can be affected by lightning, like a tree, an electric pole, or even a person or an animal. IITM Pune has established a lightning network by installing 48 lightning sensors in the country, and Damini receives information through this network. This app is free and can be downloaded from the Play Store. The consumer has to register himself by entering his name and location, and thereafter, Damini provides accurate forecast of thunderstorms and lightning strikes within 20 kilometers from the customer's location through audio alerts and SMSs. Along with providing alerts, the app also guides people about the do's and don'ts during the event of a lightning strike. Like seek shelter in a building or an enclosed solid structure after getting the warning. If there is no shelter nearby, then cover your ears with your hands and crouch down in a ball-like position with your feet and knees together. Stay away from open fields, trees and rocks. Do not wash metal utensils in the open. Do not bathe. Do not use umbrella. Stay away from high-tension wires and electric poles. Alerts and information provided by Damini can play a very big role in reducing the fatalities of lightning strikes in India. Therefore, the government is now promoting this app to motivate people, especially the farmers, to download this app and to be safe.
And now it is time for a short break, but do not go anywhere. We'll be right back with more reports.
Mythbusters. Myth. COVID-19 virus cannot be transmitted in areas with hot and humid climates. Yes, it can. From the evidence so far, the COVID-19 virus can be transmitted in all areas. Myth. Cold weather and snow can kill the new virus. No, there is no reason to believe that cold weather can kill the new coronavirus or other related diseases. Myth. Taking a hot bath prevents the new coronavirus disease. Not true. The best way to protect yourself against COVID-19 is by frequently cleaning your hands.
Welcome back. After the break, you're watching Science Monitor. Traditionally, we have been using a variety of plants and herbs for boosting our immunity. And these medicinal plants are also being studied by modern science to identify the bioactive components that help us to cure various kinds of ailments. In one such study done by IIT Delhi's Kusuma School of Biological Sciences, scientists have found that active components from tea and HARITAKI can help us fight the infection caused by SARS-CoV-2. Through this study, the scientists are trying to develop cost-effective and non-toxic therapeutic agents against the disease. Let us see how this study can help in tackling the virus.
The pandemic of COVID-19 is impacting the whole world. According to the figures, more than 10 million people have been infected so far, of which more than 6 lakh have succumbed to the disease. In India too, the infection is growing very fast. However, the figures show that the recovery rate in India is much better as compared to the others. India is making a steady progress in its fight against the pandemic, and 2 of its vaccine candidates have started human trials. Besides, there are other efforts too, which are coming up with very promising results to reduce the severity of the disease. One such effort is by Kusuma School of Biological Sciences of the Indian Institute of Technology, Delhi. The researchers here have found that bioactive elements derived from tea and HARITAKI can inhibit the activity of the main enzyme of SARS-CoV-2.
There has been worldwide effort for vaccine development, rapid diagnosis and drug development. There are many in clinical trials at different stages now. In this context, our team has thought for investigating medicinal plants, as medicinal plants are considered to be safest means of medication, traditionally being used for various manifestations. The study team includes Saurav Upadhyay, Praveen Tripathi, Shiva Raghavendra, Mohit Bharadwaj, and Dr. Manju Singh, who is an Ayurvedic physician at Morarji Desai National Institute of Yoga, New Delhi.
Researchers screened at least 51 medicinal plants to study their action against 3CL-Pro protease, which is basically an enzyme found in the virus, necessary for processing of viral polyproteins. The study found that the gallotannin or tannic acid found in tea, Camellia sinensis, and HARITAKI, Terminalia shibula, plays a major role in inhibiting the enzymatic action. Thus, gallotannin can be studied further as a potential therapeutic candidate against SARS-CoV-2.
Our lab has cloned 3CL, which is main protease of the virus, responsible for virus replication, and established in vitro viral activity. We have screened 51 medicinal plants by in vitro protease activity and found that green tea or black tea as well as Haritaki, they are the potential inhibitors of this protease. Further, for detailed molecular level understanding, the team has investigated active components of tea as well as Haritaki and found that gallotannin is majorly involved in inhibiting the main protease activity of the virus. This suggests that gallotannin may be a potential therapeutic candidate against SARS-CoV-2 virus.
The study is quite successful at the laboratory level and raises a new hope. This study has been published in the journal Phytotherapy Research. According to the research team, clinical trials have not been done yet. Therefore, viewers should not take these plants as a cure for the pandemic infection. However, if the findings are proved in clinical trials as well, then it will be considered the most accessible and inexpensive therapy for COVID-19.
Like many other premier institutes in the country, Durgapur-based CSIR Central Mechanical Engineering Research Institute is also working on war footing level to minimize the impact of COVID-19 through technological intervention. The institute has channelized its resources optimally to develop various products and equipment to minimize the transmission of COVID-19 in the society. Recently, the institute unveiled the COVID Protection System or COPS for workplace as a game changer in the current pandemic scenario. Let us see how the system can benefit the workplaces.
As India has eased several of its lockdown restrictions to restart its economic activities, offices and organizations, both government and private, have resumed their functions. And as per the government guidelines, people are choosing to follow contact-less procedures to minimize the risk of catching the infection. However, the frontline security personnel of any organization continue to work in infection-prone circumstances as they have to deal with many individuals and objects on a daily basis. To protect such personnel from the risk of infection, CSIR's Central Mechanical Engineering Research Institute, Durgapur, has developed a solar-based intelligent mask automated dispensing unit cum thermal scanner named IntelliMast. It is an intelligent surveillance kiosk which scans the body temperature and identifies the face mask on an individual's face through customized software solutions. The kiosk can also provide a mask instantly in case it is needed.
इसमें एक ये भी डाल दिया है कि ये इसमें मास्क को डिस्पेंस अच्छी तरह किया जाए, टेम्परेचर मेजर किया जाए और साथ में फेस रिकॉग्निशन भी किया जाए। तो फ्यूचर में हम इसको बायोमेट्रिक बेस्ड भी बना सकते हैं और ये पोस्ट कोविड में भी बड़े वे में यूज़ हो सके। काफ़ी टाइम लाइट नहीं होता तो मशीन चलता नहीं है, तो इसलिए हमने सोलर पैनल्स और सोलर सिस्टम पूरा लगाया है ताकि इवन बैटरी लाइट अगर 1-2 घंटा नहीं है तो ये पूरी फंक्शनल रहे, इसमें स्टॉप नहीं है। और इसको हम फ्यूचर में यही सोच रहे हैं, इसको ऑटोमेटिक गेट ट्रांसमिशन खोलने के साथ भी लगाया जाए। तो एक ओवरऑल एक सिस्टम बनाया जाए जिसको हम कॉप्स कहें, COPS, इसका मतलब है कोविड प्रोटेक्शन सिस्टम, बट ये पोस्ट कोविड में भी यूज़ हो सकता है।
The machine also alerts the security personnel through audio-visual system when an individual's temperature is above the normal levels. The institute also plans to introduce facial recognition-based attendance in the same system. The system is a step towards the digital entry management system being developed by CMERI for workplaces, which also includes a touchless faucet and 360-degree car flusher.
We also have added a new feature that whether we can really wash the car when the car is entering into the campus, because we know very well that car wheels are often bringing the COVID virus into the institute or colony. This needs to be also cleaned, and important thing is that we have a unit which is named as a 360-degree car flusher. It has around 22 nozzles. We are keeping a 4 nozzle at the bottom, and it is sprayed in a manner that it completely covers the car body from the front to the back side. It is important to clean this car at a much faster pace and keep a car in a running condition, so you don't have to stop.
The innovative technologies developed by CSIR-CMERI are now ready to be transferred to the industry. Such interventions can play a huge role in preventing any kind of infection at a workspace, and also its automated and smooth functioning.
Time for another short break. Stay with us, we'll be back soon. Welcome back after the break. You're watching Science Monitor. And now let's have a quick look at some other developments that have made news in the field of science and technology in our segment Science Express.
Unit 3 of the Kakarapar nuclear power plant situated in Surat, Gujarat, attained criticality or a sustained chain reaction for the first time on 22nd July. The plant is the country's first indigenously designed 700 megawatts pressurized heavy water reactor to reach the commissioning milestone. According to Nuclear Power Corporation of India Limited (NPCIL), loading of fuel into the reactor's core was completed in mid-March, and many tests and procedures were carried out during the lockdown period following all COVID-19 guidelines to achieve the historic development. The milestone was welcomed by Prime Minister Narendra Modi, who congratulated the nuclear scientists through Twitter and highlighted the achievement as a shining example of Make in India. On 22nd July, a year after the launch of India's second moon mission, ISRO announced its plan to publicly release the science data from Chandrayaan-2 in the month of October for global use. The report on the major findings from Chandrayaan-2's science experiments was planned to be released at the annual Lunar Planetary Science Conference in March. As the event got cancelled due to COVID-19, so the Indian Space Agency has announced its new plan. According to ISRO, extensive data has been acquired from Chandrayaan-2 payloads, and parameters are being derived for the presence of water ice in the polar regions. It should be noted that the Chandrayaan-2 spacecraft was inserted into lunar orbit on 20th August 2019. All of its payloads are performing very well. International Advanced Research Center for Powder Metallurgy and New Materials ARCI, Hyderabad, and Noida-based Vehant Technologies have developed a UV baggage disinfection system called Kriti Scan to inactivate 99.9% bacteria and viruses. Kriti Scan is highly suitable for deployment at public places where people move around with hand baggage. The advanced baggage disinfecting system has a specially designed motorized conveyor to guide all sorts of baggage into the disinfection tunnel, which uses short wavelength ultraviolet light to inactivate microbes and has unique safety features for easy operation.
ये UVC टेक्नोलॉजी पे काम करता है, जो कि 254 नैनोमीटर वेवलेंथ पे ड्राइव होता है, और चूँकि हम इस तरह के प्रोडक्ट पहले ही बना रहे थे, हम लोग ऑलरेडी एक्सरे बैगेज स्कैनर के मैन्युफैक्चरर्स हैं और ये प्रोडक्ट उसके साथ एज ए कॉम्प्लीमेंट्री फिट बैठता है। तो हमने ARCI के साथ कोलैबोरेशन किया, डिस्कस किया एंड हम लोगों ने उनसे टेक्नोलॉजी सपोर्ट लिया। तो उसके बाद उनकी गाइडेंस में हमने ये प्रोडक्ट को डेवलप किया ताकि ये हमारे एक्सरे बैगेज स्कैनर के साथ फिट आए, जो कि सिक्योरिटी के साथ साथ बैगेज को डिसइंफेक्ट करने का भी काम एक ही समय पे पूरा कर सके।
The Union Health Ministry has warned against the use of masks with valved respirators which contain a raised plastic disc embedded in the fiber. A letter written to all the states and union territories by the Director General of Health Services brought to everybody's notice that N95 masks with valved respirators do not prevent the virus from spreading out and are in fact detrimental to the measures adopted for its containment. The valve is basically a one-way valve that only protects the person wearing it and doesn't filter the aerosols coming out. Hence, an asymptomatic carrier of the novel coronavirus can easily spread the infection to others when the valve releases the unfiltered exhaled air in the immediate surroundings. On the other hand, a mask without a valve will not allow the virus to spread.
And that is all in today's edition of Science Monitor. Do tell us how do you like our program. You can send your feedback and suggestions through email. Our email ID is news@vigyanprasar.gov.in. You can also write in to us at Vigyan Prasar, 5th floor, Prithvi Bhavan, Lodhi Road, New Delhi, 110003. We'll meet you again next week with new informations and developments. Till then, stay safe, stay home, and think scientifically. Bye for now.